Welcome to our lesson 2 of the simple electric circuit. Today we are going to continue from where we left. Just to recap what we did, we defined what is a simple electric circuit, that it is a complete path for the flow of electrons. Then the components of the circuits were: we must have a source of electricity, we must have conductors, which are wires, we must have a load which will convert electrical energy to the energy you desire. So we have a control device which we looked at, known as a switch. So source of electricity, we have control device, a switch, the load which will consume the energy and give you what you desire, and then we have conductor, the wires that connect those components. Today you are just going to write them in detail. So let us look at one, source of electricity. You can put it down. It will force the electrons to flow through the conductors and the load. Okay? So the right word here, move, we prefer flow. Okay? Because a human being moves, he doesn't flow. Electrons flow, and you can say it constitutes movement, but the technical term is flow. So source of electricity will force the electrons to flow through the conductors and the load. Okay? Number 2, what happens when the electrons flow through the load? The load, e.g. in the case we handled, was the bulb. So the load will offer some resistance. The bulb naturally is a specific type of a conductor, but it will offer resistance to the flow of electrons. So get it, we are moving now step by step. The role of the source, it will force the electrons to flow through the load and the conductors, that is the wires. Like the gun initiates the movement of athletes, they respond to that gun. Now the source, which essentially contains chemical energy, it will force the electrons to flow through the wires, in bracket conductors, and the load, in bracket, what did we see? The bulb. So what happens? Some energy will be given out. Some energy will be given out to overcome the resistance. Okay? This energy will be converted by the load to energy. Okay? The load now converts it to useful energy. In case of a bulb, the useful energy we are talking about is the light. Some may convert it to heat energy so that it can heat maybe water for you. So remember the flow of this lesson. We have the source. it will force the electrons to flow. Where? Through the load and conductors, through the wires and the device, which is intended to consume that flow and give another form. This energy will be converted by the load to useful energy, which we said in our case is the light. Bulb, it will be light energy. There are others, it can be energy. Other loads which will convert to sound energy. So you will hear some sound. What about the control device? The control device is used in making and breaking. Okay? It is used in making and breaking. It completes the path, and sometimes it makes that path open, incomplete. So the control device is used in breaking and making the electron path. The path can be set to be continuous or to be incomplete. Conductors are used to connect. Conductors are used to connect the rest of the devices. Remember, you have the source, you have the control device, the switch, you have the bulb. These three need to be connected, to be joined from one point to the other until that circuit is complete upon switching. So the wires, which we call the conductors, they have major one function: to link the devices. Okay? And remember, we may not draw them bending. We just draw them as straight. And when they bend, we draw them with an angle of 90. So it can be drawn in straight lines, but sometimes bending. Folks, those are the major functions that you have to list down. So next lesson, lesson 3, we shall go deeper into analyzing this electron, and also we shall do the measuring devices, because we have them. We have to know what is the energy from the source, what force is set upon at the source. What amount of force do we expect? May I say force in quote? Because you know force is a push or a pull. So here we want to pick it from push. Push the electrons to go round. Just like the sound of the gun triggers the movement of athletes around the lanes. So there is something that will trigger the movement of electrons through the circuit so that there is complete flow. Till then, bye-bye.